Dave here in Juno Beach, Florida today, here at the incredible Loggerhead Marinelife Center. Here to talk to them today about our partnership with Loggerhead and our new Hazy IPA we're launching. If you guys don't mind, follow me inside as we embark upon this journey. Morning.
Good morning.
So, morning, I'm here this morning with Andy Dehart with Loggerhead Marinelife Center. Andy's the CEO of Loggerhead, and before we go on to this about the partnership that we're doing here today, if you don't mind, kind of give us a little background on Loggerhead, what you guys are doing here, and a little bit about the facility here as well.
Absolutely, we're super excited to host you guys today. We are a 40-year-old private nonprofit C3 sea turtle hospital. But as you can see, we're also open to the public, and that's a really big, critical part of our mission, is to educate. We have turtles here that are going through various phases of rehabilitation, but while they're here, it's a great opportunity to teach kids and kids at heart about what's happening in our ocean ecosystems and how to help save sea turtles.
No, it's amazing, man. I remember like 20 plus years ago, my younger sister used to work out when you guys were right over there. And just like the history of this is, true to my heart being in this area for 20 plus years. And that's great. Why don't we go try out some of the turtles?
Absolutely, sounds great. Danny is a fully adult loggerhead sea turtle. This one is a male, and as you can see, Danny has an amputation on the front right side.
Okay.
So Danny was actually recovered up in Port St. Lucie with the bone exposed. And one of our jobs here while Danny is here is to finish that amputation if it's a partial amputation, make sure that that surgery area has sealed up and is free of bacteria, there's no other lingering issues before they're released. So the way this works is we get a call traditionally through the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission Stranding Network. And oftentimes the officers will bring us the turtles, or we'll meet halfway. So if there's a boater out in the community that sees an injured or wounded turtle, they'll bring it to the dock, and then we meet FWC at that location.
Great.
But yeah, so Danny came from Port St. Lucie. Now, one of the questions that we get a lot, especially with amputations, is if there's an amputation, can it be released? And the answer to that is yes. We cannot release turtles that have amputations on the same side, but we actually can release turtles that have double amputations, and we have one patient here that's actually got a partial amputation on both sides.
So how long has he been with you guys so far?
Danny's been here about 2.5, 3 months. Our head veterinarian, taking a big old gulp of air. Our head veterinarian, Dr. Heather Barron, loves to treat him and street him. And I think we use that analogy because animals that are fully adult of reproductive age, like Danny is, it's really important that they're in the ecosystem, part of the reproductive cycle, so that he can be part of that genetic biodiversity.
That's amazing. We were talking earlier. I've seen a few out there diving before with 3 fins, and I've always wondered how they adapt and what challenges they have out there once they get released, or just in general. So
absolutely, they do really well. And Danny is a male. We know a lot less about where males move outside of nesting season. So this one might be a candidate. We oftentimes don't do the satellite tags on an amputated turtle because there is a bit of a drag. But some of the tools at our disposal, you'll see a little flipper tag. See it on the left side there? So it's a little stainless steel tag that goes through the flipper. So if Danny is ever found again later, we can pull that information. We insert a pit tag, like you would in a dog or cat. It's a little like a grain of rice, and it's an electromagnetic tag, and you run a scanner over it and it pulls that data. So we traditionally tag them those 2 ways, pit tag and flipper tag, and then sometimes if they're the right candidate, we'll do a satellite tag.
Great.
I know one of the things you guys have done before is you've sponsored some of our satellite tag turtles, and we're looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah, we've been following Peach around for a little while, so we're excited to adopt some more and track their progress as well. So
did we name Peach before you adopted her, or did you name her Peach?
No. Well, that's debatable, but I'm pretty sure you guys named her Peach first.
So David, I've been to your tap house. It's an amazing thing. You want to come see where the magic happens here?
Let's do it. Can't wait.
So David, it was really cool to see how you guys do your magic up at the tap house. This is our magic space. This is our rehab hospital. So we have the outdoor sea turtle hospital tanks where the patients are for recovery and treatment. But a lot of times they have to come into this indoor space. So behind me is our x-ray. We have digital x-ray. This is actually one of our patients, Flapjack, and they can come in for any number of reasons. Predominantly it is due to human interference. So it's entwinement with monofilament. There might be ingestion of hooks and weights. Unfortunately, a lot of times, especially during nesting season, we have conflict with boats. So either a direct strike from the hull of the boat or a laceration from the propeller. Then we try to move on. We've got some medications. obviously a lot of our diagnostic equipment, and a surgical suite. So we're pretty well based here to do anything we need to do. And in fact, this hospital is going to be going through a renovation this year.
Okay.
We just did a huge expanded campus. It's now time to fix a hospital. And
Okay.
it's functional, but dated. So we actually raised $1 million in funding to revamp our hospital, and by the end of the year we're going to be adding a CT machine. So we'll be the only rehab facility I know of that has CAT scan technology to look at turtles.
And CT machine for the actual size of the turtles, or is that?
It is. So right now we have an amazing relationship with Jupiter Medical Center.
Okay.
We can bring some of our very large 300 and 400 pound patients over there. We still will probably need to do that for our largest patients, but this will take patients up to about 250 pounds.
Okay.
And as you might imagine, we kind of have to sometimes go sideways through the door. You have like 8 people on different corners. They're like flapping around. So it's a pretty crazy experience.
So you mentioned the turtles getting hit and they're direct hits by the boats. Is it more like offshore getting hit, inshore? Like, where does the majority of that occur?
We're actually working really closely on a voluntary speed turtle slow zone, we call STPZ. And during nesting season, those first mile to mile and a half from the beach is where the heaviest activity is, because that's where the male turtles are chasing around the female turtles. Okay. They have to come up for air in that time, and it's also when the females are kind of looking and waiting for when the best nesting period is. They typically come up in the evening. The lights go down, but that's often this March 1st through Halloween. Because we see the different gradations in turtles, that's the busiest time for boating activity and boat conflict.
In that kind of 2 mile off radius or distance off the beach. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we also recognize that that's the best fishing.
Yeah.
The reefs are there. And it really, again, we don't want to get into an area where this is a mandated thing. It's building awareness. I think this is a perfect example of how we can work together. You guys
making people aware.
The key thing, right, for us is that Jupiter Inlet. That's the aggregation of probably the most densest nesting beach. So for loggerheads, we are the most densely nested beach in the entire Western Hemisphere. And in fact, there's only one other place in Oman that's higher than us in the world. So this is like a really treasured place.
Yeah.
And I think it is. It's just having boaters be aware and these collaborations that we can do. Well, what can I do? Well, you can go a little slower, wear polarized glasses, know who to call if there is a boat strike, know who to call. So the FWC
That's
response.
so important too, is just that the knowledge of like, who do I reach out to if something happens.
Absolutely.
That's a huge thing, and be able to get to it quick too, to address it.
Yeah. We have a hotline here for us, but when we can, we direct people to Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission for their emergency response number.
We should look about in the future of actually putting on the can.
Oh, that'd be great.
That information is from because with the digital printing cans, we can do whatever we want to, and maybe modifying after we release it, and like maybe doing an awareness portion, like maybe from March 1st to Halloween every year, that's on there as like a really highlighted portion of it. So just thinking as we're trying to figure out ways to make people more aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I'm excited about our co-branded can, because then we've got that QR code.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is when folks go to that QR code, it'll be a co-managed site, Sailfish Brewing Company and Loggerhead Marinelife Center. So it's going to be your one-stop shop for drinking beer and saving turtles. So
I mean, it's
that's a great thing.
Two of my favorite things to do. So.
Mine too. So
so this the collaboration, our new Hazy IPA launching March 1st in collaboration with Loggerhead Marinelife Center. The tie-in there, very coincidentally, maybe not coincidentally, but March 1st being the opening day for turtle nesting season, which runs through Halloween. So launching that at the same time, being part of Turtle Fest the week before that, February 24th, having the Hazy IPA be the premier beer up on the sky deck up here during that Turtle Fest, February 24th, and then lead right into March 1st of seeing this beer at your local watering holes here locally, and a lot of grocery stores around this area as well too, from the Treasure Coast down to Palm Beach. Really excited about that, and we got a busy month ahead of us.
Organic fit is what's important. I can't wait for the Hazy IPA.
Never thought starting a brewery and making beer would help save sea turtles, but here we are. So,
cheers.
Cheers to that, Andy. Thanks again.
Something we can drink to.
Yes, sir.
For more information on how you can get involved, follow this QR code link. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe.